If you constantly feel anxious about money, even when you're earning, this video isn't about budgeting. And it's not about investing. It's about why your nervous system never feels safe. Most people don't struggle financially because they're irresponsible. They struggle because they're living without protection. And once you understand this, everything changes. Most people don't realize this until life forces them to learn it the hard way. Money problems are rarely just about money. They're about fear, about uncertainty, about the quiet anxiety that creeps in late at night when the world goes silent and your mind starts asking the questions you've been avoiding all day. If something goes wrong tomorrow, will I survive it? If I lose my income, how long can I last? Why does it feel like I'm always one problem away from falling apart? If you've ever had thoughts like these, you're not weak, you're not irresponsible, and you're definitely not alone. You're human. An emergency fund is not a financial trick. It's not a spreadsheet strategy. And it's not something only disciplined or successful people do. At its core, an emergency fund is psychological safety. And in 2026, with economic instability, job insecurity, rising living costs, and constant global disruptions, psychological safety is no longer a luxury. It's survival. Why an emergency fund is the real starting line. Across the world, from independent financial advisors to certified financial planners, there is one quiet agreement most people ignore. If you don't have an emergency fund, every other financial plan is fragile. You can invest, you can save aggressively, you can chase passive income and watch motivational videos every night, telling you to hustle harder. But without a buffer for unexpected shocks, all of it can collapse in a single moment. A layoff you didn't see coming, a medical bill you weren't prepared for, a family emergency that demands your attention and your money at the same time, or an economic downturn you didn't cause and couldn't predict. Here's the uncomfortable truth most people avoid. When you don't have an emergency fund, your brain lives in fight or flight mode. You may not notice it consciously, but behaviorally, you panic faster. You make emotional money decisions. You stay in unhealthy jobs because you're afraid to leave. You tolerate situations that drain you because you think you can't afford change, and you avoid risks that could actually improve your life. Lack of financial safety doesn't just limit your wallet, it quietly shrinks your world. The shame. No one talks about many people don't avoid building an emergency fund because they don't know how. They avoid it because it forces them to face something deeply uncomfortable, their reality. The numbers they don't want to look at, the bank account they pretend not to check, the feeling that they should be further ahead by now. Financial shame is one of the most hidden forms of shame. People will talk openly about heartbreak, burnout, even trauma, but they stay silent about money struggles because money is tied to identity, to self-worth, to competence, and to the fear of being judged. Some people don't fear being poor, they fear being exposed. If this is you, hear this clearly. If you don't have an emergency fund, you are not bad with money. You are living without protection, and no one thrives without protection. Why the end of the year is the best time to build one. Most people think the end of the year, especially around major holidays, is the worst time to save. Too many expenses, too many social obligations, too many temptations. But psychologically and behaviorally, it's actually the best time. Cash inflow often increases through bonuses, commissions, year-end business income, or unexpected extra money you didn't plan for. And when you already have a basic spending plan, something powerful happens. You start to notice leftover money instead of letting it disappear unconsciously. An emergency fund is not built through extreme deprivation, and it's not about punishing yourself or living in fear. It's built through intentional priority. You're not saying you don't deserve nice things. You're saying your future self deserves safety. Step 1. Redefine what an emergency fund really is. An emergency fund is money reserved only for situations that threaten your stability. Sudden job loss or income interruption, medical emergencies, economic crises, family emergencies, and events no one warned you about, like a global pandemic. It is not a shopping fund, it is not a vacation fund, and it is not a just-in-case, I feel like it fund. From a behavioral psychology perspective, something powerful happens when you separate this money from your daily spending account. Your brain labels it as untouchable. Once that mental boundary exists, your behavior changes automatically. You hesitate before impulse purchases, you question unnecessary expenses, and you protect the fund instinctively. This isn't discipline. This is how the human nervous system responds to clear rules. Change the rule, and behavior follows. Step 2. Decide the right size based on your reality. There is no universal number that fits everyone. International personal finance standards generally recommend 3 to 12 months of essential expenses, depending on income stability and life responsibilities. The key word here is essential. We're talking about survival costs like food, housing, utilities, insurance, and basic transportation, not shopping, not travel, and not lifestyle upgrades. A single person with no dependents may need around 3 months, while someone supporting children or elderly parents may need closer to 12. Dual-income households may need less if there are no dependents, and more if others rely on them. The reason for this range is simple. Financial anxiety doesn't come from numbers. It comes from responsibility load. The more people depend on you, the more psychological safety your nervous system requires. Step 3. Where you keep the money matters more than you think. An emergency fund must meet 3 non-negotiable conditions. High liquidity so you can access it within 24 hours, high safety with minimal risk of loss, and value protection so it doesn't fall behind inflation. This is not the place to chase high returns. Emergency money has a different job, to be boring, reliable, and calm. That's why it's smart not to keep it all in one place. Many people choose a simple structure that includes savings accounts with different terms, a portion in assets that hedge inflation, and a small amount of cash for immediate emergencies. This isn't paranoia, it's preparedness, and preparedness creates peace. The hidden psychological power of an emergency fund. An emergency fund will not make you rich, but it will reduce chronic stress, improve decision-making, calm your nervous system, and give you leverage in life. People without an emergency fund often live reactively, constantly responding to problems as they arise. People with one live proactively, making choices instead of compromises. This is the difference between managing money and being in control of money. When cash flow is under control, the nervous system relaxes, and when the nervous system relaxes, life feels lighter. You breathe easier, you sleep better, and you stop feeling like you're constantly behind. From that place of safety, growth finally becomes possible, not because you're suddenly smarter, but because you're no longer afraid of tomorrow. Final thought. This isn't about becoming rich. This is about becoming someone who is no longer controlled by fear. When you build an emergency fund, you're not just saving money, you're building a boundary between yourself and chaos. And that boundary is where peace begins.